So it's been a while. The last video on this channel before this one was 3 months ago, and in that time, quite a lot has happened. I had the daily series going, the teenage entrepreneur day whatever. I had that going for like 8 or 9 days. I can't quite remember. And I was really enjoying that. Every day, basically, I was just recording what I was doing with the GoPro, like a daily vlog, basically, then editing it into like a nice little video, and it was pretty fun doing that, and the videos were doing really well. It did take a lot of time and a lot of effort doing that. There were plenty of nights where I was just skipping so much sleep just to edit them. But they were doing well, and I was really enjoying doing those videos. And I was planning on continuing them until YouTube just basically took it all down and gave my channel 2 strikes. And if you know anything about YouTube, basically, if you get, I can't remember what it was, if you get like 3 strikes, basically, your whole channel gets deleted. And so I took all the rest of the videos down. So I think 3 of them, one video got taken down for my warning, and then 2 more got taken down, which was 2 more strikes. And if I had one taken down more, basically the whole channel would be permanently deleted. And obviously I didn't want that, and so I just privated all of them to stop that risk. And I tried doing other stuff like uploading them on other channels and stuff like that. It just didn't work. And it was obviously because it was like YouTube seeing me being under 18 and everything. It was just being special like that. Child endangerment apparently. But I really loved making videos like those. Those like kind of vlog style where it's not, I'm not just like sitting down talking. I mean, I've done videos like these for ages, and I've got the skill. I've built up the skill of being able to talk to a camera through countless hours of doing this. But I've realized like what I've always truly loved doing is making those videos where I'm doing some sort of thing or whatever, and I kind of make it into like a nicely made video where I'm vlogging or filmmaking or whatever. I've always really loved that. You can go back on my channel and look at my like first 2 ever videos. I think it was the first 2. Yeah, it was a day in the life, and then like the week long challenge I did. That was the type of video I wanted to make, and then I mean there was this group of like guys I used to know, and then they kind of got me into the talking head videos and everything like that. And obviously I'm not regretting anything I've done. Like everything I've done has got me to here. Everything happens for a reason. Like I'm not regretting anything I've done. But I've realized like throughout all my time, I've always like when I've not known what to do, I've always gone back to making videos where I'm kind of just like the only word I can put for it is like filmmaking, and obviously they're not like film quality, but that's the best word I can put for it, filmmaking. And yeah, I've always just loved making videos, really loved just making a nicely made video, not just like talking to the camera and providing like value or anything like that. I'm talking about, I mean, you know what I mean, like filmmaking, vlogging, that kind of style. And yeah, I realized I really love making videos like those with that entrepreneur series, and so I decided to quit entrepreneurship to fully pursue filmmaking. And what has happened since basically is that I've got a new channel. It's under the same name, Sam Millison. I'll probably link it in the description now. I uploaded my first video on that, which took me like 50 hours to make, a couple of weeks ago, and I've got another video coming out soon, that I've been working on since. And so this isn't like weekly uploads or whatever, or daily uploads. This is like I'm spending almost a month on each video, basically. Or it's more like 3 weeks. Yeah, probably about 3 weeks per video so far. But I'm only in my second one so far, and yeah, I'm just loving this so much more. What I'm doing now with the filmmaking, and I mean, I'm recording on a GoPro, and I'm struggling for storage, and so it's I'm not, I don't like to call myself a filmmaker because they aren't film quality by any means. It's still kind of like, I don't know how to put it. It's beginner filmmaking level. But I'm just loving this so much more. It's like what I'm doing now. It feels truly right to me. It feels like truly it's just like correct, if that makes sense. Like when I was pushing my coaching on this channel and everything, and like I said before, I'm not saying I regret what I did or anything. I have no regrets, and that's not some like weird fancy quote I'm saying. Like most people say, like I genuinely have no regrets because I know that everything I to get to this point, I've had to go through everything I've gone before, and so I'm not saying like, oh, I wish I'd done this earlier. But like I kind of am. I would have been happier if I made this change earlier, but what I was getting onto is with the coaching and everything like that, it's like I always secretly knew that I was only doing it for my own gain and my own self. It's like I always preached, do it for the people you're helping, do it to improve their lives. And I mean, there were definitely periods of time where I was just fully doing it to help people. And honestly, those periods were probably the happiest times. Um, but a lot of the time, and especially with the coaching, it became more so for my own personal gain. And obviously, there were moments where it's like I'd get someone really good results, or like someone would get their first sale through my help or whatever, from my coaching, and then I'd feel good. But it's like you almost become numb to it. Like after you experience it, like so many times of helping people and actually getting people results and changing people's lives, it you become almost numb to it, and it doesn't. You don't get that same like good feeling anymore. And the only way I'll actually get that good feeling is by getting another sale and making myself more money and scaling up my business and everything like that. But ultimately, it was leading to a dead end because it's like, I mean, it's like I don't want to compare it to like dopamine bad habits, but it's like anything. It's like the first time you do like some sort of new bad habit, it feels really, really good. The second time, it feels a little bit less good. By the time you've done it 100 times, it doesn't even feel good anymore. And you're almost kind of addicted to it, and that's how it kind of went with the sales and money for me. And I mean, it's not hard for me to admit now because I'm past that now. But yeah, I that was kind of like and I never admitted it to myself either. It's kind of just like back of my mind subconscious thing. Um, but now with filmmaking, and I almost struggled to put this to words. And I'm gonna have to read this off the screen because I articulated it the best I could. It's like I feel a connection to something deeper, and it's like I feel like I know I'm going the right way and on my way to fulfilling my potential. And I mean, if you're on your way to fulfilling your potential, aren't you actually fulfilling your potential at that current moment? That's another thing, but yeah, I feel like I'm doing what is right. Yeah, I just feel so much happier doing this filmmaking and creating something beautiful. And it's like when when I'm working and like I've almost like created a moment in the video that feels like really powerful towards me. The feeling I get from it, it just overrules everything else. So like the feeling after finishing my work for the day and actually like producing something I'm actually happy with, producing something that I like put my own self into, producing something that's mine. It's like the feeling I get from it. The word happiness is almost like an understatement. The only way I can put it is like it's an overflow of happiness to the point where I can't even appreciate the happiness. So it's like when you're in a good mood, yeah, and you're just chilling, you're vibing, you're happy to the point where you just like start singing. Like if you're alone, you just start singing some random song, not knowing the words, like, and you kind of have that happiness feeling, and you can appreciate it, and you can be happy about you being happy. It's like I get that feeling to the point where I can't even appreciate all the happiness, and it feels like it's almost overflowing. And I don't know if how that sounds like really wishy washy, like overflowing with happiness. But that's how, and I don't think happiness is the best word for it either. But I can't think of a better one to describe it. But I just feel so good, and it's like in the first video on the channel, it's like at the end there was a moment where I can't remember what it was. It was like a voiceover. It's like I've basically voiced over at the very end of the video, saying like I've been working on this video for ages, and obviously I did it all the best I could. It's not like I'm explaining here. You'd have to see it to know what I mean. But it's like that was a moment where I just felt so proud of like the feeling I not convicted. What's the word? I don't know. The feeling I managed to make in that moment for myself. And I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. But I just feel so good too. And I wrote this as well because I knew I'd start waffling. To conclude, I'm happy doing this. And so yeah, I decided to finally update you and to start uploading videos on the channel again. So yeah, what's probably gonna happen is I'm just gonna carry on uploading talking head videos, just spewing out my values because I've realized like even videos like these still give me value, and these still like these raw like they're gonna be like raw unedited. I'm not raw and unedited. I'm not gonna put any value like no, I'm not gonna put editing or any effort into them. I'm just gonna like when I've got an idea to record, I'm either just gonna like write down a few bullet points and record, or just record at the moment. And I'm not making these videos for value or to necessarily help people. I'm not making a video because I've seen some guy. I might do that. If I've seen some guy who has a problem and I make a video about it. I'm making these videos about my own ideas and my own thoughts to almost like help myself articulate and understand better my own thoughts and everything like this. And so I'm still going to be explaining concepts in the videos. They're going to be pretty similar to what I was doing before. But it's more so just going to be more for myself than for other people, if that makes sense. And I mean, I've said this with my videos on the more filmmaking side as well on the new channel. It's like I almost make them for myself, how I want to make them, and not for how YouTube wants them. Like the one I'm working on now is going to be really long, and traditionally it'd be boring. It's going to be it's slow paced. There's a clip in it that's just 26 seconds of me walking, and I put it in that way because I feel it's right and I feel it adds up the energy correctly. Because like in that video, I'm basically going on a massive hike, like 8 hour hike, and I wanted to evict. I don't know why I keep saying that word. I don't know if it's evict is when you kick someone out of a house, isn't it? I don't know what I'm saying with that, man. I wanted to like create the feeling of it being so long and so slow because that's how the hike was, and so I made it like that in the video. I'm not like adding sound effects and music and loads of quick cuts over everything. I mean, I did that in the first video, but I'm trying out new things. But I've gone off on a tangent there. But yeah, with these videos, just going to be talking heads, spewing my values out raw and unedited for myself. So there's going to be no upload schedule. There's going to be no whatever. I might be uploading 5 times a day. I might be uploading once every 5 weeks. Who knows? But then I also need money for filmmaking and everything too. I'm recording on a GoPro, which is probably one of the worst cameras you can do for this style. I've got to be fast now because I've got to go to school. But yeah, and so I'm still going to do some form of mentorship, but that's just going to be secondary. It's more so going to be like if you want to support what I'm doing, and you also want to pick my brain and you basically use my brain to solve your problems, then people would get my mentorship then. But yeah, that's what's going on. I've got to leave for school in 6 minutes and I'm not dressed. So yeah, man, that's what's going on. Thank you for watching and thank you for sticking around and supporting me. I really do appreciate it.